Hey everybody, welcome to the August 12th Google Suite training. My name is Al Hamill and I teach at Whitefish High School. This first video is set up so that I can show you how to set up Google Classroom before we even get into the assignments and quizzes and everything else. And I will tell you that I've been using learning management systems since 2005. I started with Moodle, and then I moved to a couple of different school districts, and finally when I was in a school district in Vermont, they wouldn't support Moodle, so I had to use Google Classroom. And since then, I've become a big fan of Google Classroom, and I know there's better learning management systems out there, based on people's opinions, Ford, Chevy, Dodge, what have you, but they all have their problems. But the biggest thing that you need to be aware of, no matter which system you use, is you need to figure out how to organize it clearly, concisely, and make it easy to navigate. So this is going to be about the initial setup, and here we go. If you watch the previous, when you watch another video in here, I'm going to show you how to set up your stream, but I'm going to do it again right here. The stream is the first thing we need to set up, and I'm going to show you why. I'm going to go over to the student engagement workshop that I've already built. And when you look at this, I'm in stream mode right now. You can see it up here. And you can see that I made an announcement, and it's here. And there's nothing else on this list. If I go into the settings, which is the upper right corner here, this cog, okay? And then I scroll down and I look at classwork on the stream. I have it set for hide notifications. If I have it set for show attachments and details, this is what the stream ends up looking like. So the problem with having that setting is every single assignment that I edit, that I create, shows up in the stream. And I don't want the students to navigate the stream looking for assignments. I want them to navigate classwork. And we're going to talk about this structure here in just a minute. So the first thing that we need to worry about is setting up our stream and making sure that our stream is set to hide notifications. Okay, you'll also notice that I have my stream is set that students can post and comment. I would like students to be able to make a general announcement to the class like, hey everybody, what's going on? What are you doing this weekend? If it gets out of control, all I have to do is click to it and switch to only teachers can post or comment. Or I could have students can only comment. That means I need to initiate the post and then students can comment on my post. So right now I'm leaving it open. So let's navigate back to the class that we're in. And when I go into classwork here, there's nothing. Okay, so we need to be aware of the create button. And I click on create, and the first thing I need to think about when I'm building Google Classroom is not the assignments I put in, but how I'm going to organize those assignments. And there's one major way to do that, and that's to use the topic. And I'm going to show you two different ways to use the topic, and I'm going to explain why one is better than the other. So I've learned that it's, when I first started, I had my calendar on my desk and I would write my lesson plans on that calendar and I knew what was going on for the week. So I was always thinking weekly. So I'm going to write here week of 8/10 to 8, what would it be, 12th, 13th, 14th, okay? And then I'm going to add it. All right, so there's a topic. Now I'm going to create the assignment for the week, or for this week. I'm going to call it assignment 1, and then sample, and then I'm going to assign it. But if you'll notice now, it's up here. So when I created the assignment, I should have taken one more step. And I'm going to show you how to do that now. But the other thing that I can do is if I do forget to do that, I could just drop it in here and it automatically goes there. Let's go into edit though. So I want it to go to all students. I want it to be 100 points. I could change it to 10 points. I always need to put a due date whenever I put an assignment on it. That's essential. And then it's under this topic. So you can see I could either create a new topic as I'm making this assignment, or I could put it in no topic, or I can put it in this week of. That's where I want it. All right, so I'm going to click save. Okay, so there's one topic. Now I could go into topic and I could create the following week, et cetera, et cetera. There's a drawback to this though. Next year, when you go to reuse your Google Classroom, because you can copy previous years and they're already built for you, so that saves you tons of time. You have to go through now and edit these because the calendar changes every year, right? So it's no longer going to be the week of 8/10 and through 8/14. It's going to be 8/11 through 8/15, I think. So now I have to go through and I have to do all this editing. The way to go around that is to change your mindset and how you plan and think about creating topics by unit. So I'm going to call this Unit 1. If your subject area is history, you might be civil liberties, or you might be, if you're in math, you might be linear proofs or something along those lines, or whatever your unit title is, from your textbook. So I would suggest doing that because then it keeps things organized. You also think about it like your file cabinet. If you are old school and you still use a file cabinet and you have your folders in there and they're labeled by kind of unit topics or main things, that's a good way of breaking it down as well. So I click Add, and now I have a new one. You also need to be aware that as you're building this, the newest topic always comes out on top. So you either have to be prepared to drag and drop them into the order that you want, or you have to think in reverse. So that's going to be something kind of tricky, but you'll figure that out. Just know that you have that option to drag and drop, and that makes life a lot easier. Okay, so let me go back to the student engagement workshop and go into classwork. And you'll see I created a topic called Overview. And in that, because teachers are accessing it, I put the workshop lesson plan so that if somebody comes back and visits it later, they can. Then I did part 1, and I put my objective on here. And then I used the question tool, and I'll get more into that later. Part 2, I did an objective. I used the assignment tool. And part 3, I did an objective, and I did a combination of assignments and questions. What else you can create is under the Create button. And you can, if you're using Kami, you can create a Kami assignment. Quiz assignments get created through Google Forms. I'll do a video on that. Then there's material. And then this one's kind of crafty here, the reuse post. I can reuse a post from a different class and then instead of putting it under the topic To Kill a Mockingbird, I can choose part 1 and then click Assign. And everything that I built in that assignment previously gets put into this topic. So that's kind of a crafty deal as well. I'm going to delete that. Watch for the next video.